Hello, 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 and welcome everyone to the broadcast. My name is Shawn Cornett. It's great to have you here as every week to our live broadcast. This time I'm coming to you here from a very unfamiliar place. Let's see here. Let me make sure that everyone is joining in okay. We've got our viewer count coming up here pretty soon. There we go. Okay. If I could, love to get a confirmation that you can see and hear me okay. Just shoot a message into the text box there, which should be on the left side or your right side of the video. If you're on a desktop, if you're on a mobile device, it might be below or something like that. But please do let me know you can see and hear me okay, and also let me know if where you're from and where you're viewing from this evening. If you have a small group get together, let me know that as well. I'd like to do some shout outs here before we get the broadcast officially kicked off. We've already got quite a number of people dialing in. All right, loud and clear. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Let's go through here. We've got Joe Hopkins, Delond Martin, George, a different George. Well, no, I haven't said him yet. Bill Popoff from Lansing, New York. Joe Hopkins, there we go. From Springfield, Missouri. Delond Martin from Vegas. I think I've got some repeat here because I can't remember who I've already shouted out. Charlene Jones from Johnson City, New York. Connecticut is where George is at. We've got Oakford and Bonnie Smith dialing in. Welcome, welcome. All right, scroll back down here. We've got a lot more people. Pamela from California. Mary from Varysburg, New York. Derek from Newington, Connecticut. Alfredo, welcome to the broadcast. Great to have you. Let's see, did I scroll too far down? No, I didn't. Okay, there we go. We've got Jean-Marie Samario from Waterbury, Connecticut. Janice from Delaware. Shane, loud and clear, coming in from Rochester. Thank you. Paula from Pennsylvania. Laura Moore, welcome to the broadcast. From New York, Roger Newhall from Pennsylvania. Welcome, 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 everyone. Great to have you on the broadcast. Quick intro. My name is Shawn Cornett, coming to you here from Japan, Tokyo, which is pretty darn exciting. Been here for almost 10 days now, I think. I'm about halfway through my trip, and it's going crazy over here, as I'm sure many of you have heard. Maybe seen some pictures of the meetings and things like that. We'll talk a little bit about that, as well as many other things. I don't want to be too overly focused on Japan because, of course, for the majority of us, the U.S. is still our greatest opportunity and where we have the most connections. If you have connections that lead you here to Japan, that's fantastic. I think that you'll be able to do some very incredible things. But the opportunity is all around us. All right. A couple quick housekeeping items right below the video. If you would, you should see a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Of course, we like the thumbs up. That lets YouTube know you like what you're seeing, and maybe we can reach some more people. There is also a subscribe button. I think depending on your device, mobile or desktop, it could be to the side or below, but there's a subscribe button. Hit that. That'll put you connect us directly on YouTube, so that anytime we go live with a broadcast, you get an immediate notification directly from YouTube. And they'll also send you a notification as soon as we upload any new video for training or presentation purposes. So those are the housekeeping items. We've got an incredible crowd. Please do keep dialing in and let me know who you are and where you're dialing in from here this evening. We'll do a couple more shout outs before we get started here. All right. We've got Pat O'Connor with Pastor Kenny Smith in Rhode Island. Joe Palumbo from Afton, New York. Welcome. Anthony Celestine from Queens, New York. Rennie Huang from New York. And Dale Smith from Woodlands Golf Course, Maryland, along with guests Mike and Kim. Welcome, welcome. Vito from New Jersey as well. All right, we still got people dialing in, but I'm going to switch gears here and get the broadcast started. Kind of odd to be introducing myself. Usually I introduce another guest speaker, but this week I thought, you know what, I'm in Japan. I probably should make an appearance and actually do one of these presentations myself. So welcome everyone to the broadcast. My name is Shawn Cornett, national consultant, coming to you here from Tokyo, Japan. in, oddly to say, my apartment. That leader of mine and myself is sharing here to make it easier to go back and forth and kind of have a sort of a place to call home here in Tokyo. I haven't moved here with my family as some have, but certainly plan on being here quite a bit. So it's great to be broadcasting to you here from halfway across the world in our newest expansion market, first expansion market, I guess I should say, and that's extremely exciting. But what I'm most excited for is if you're a guest this evening, possibly having seen the opportunity for the first time ever, as I saw for the first time ever just over 10 years ago. You may not know anything about Japan. That may not be why you're seeing the opportunity. You're looking at an opportunity to change your family's financial future, maybe right in your own backyard, wherever that is, New York, Pennsylvania, Texas, Illinois, California. You may have no connections and not be worried about Japan at all, and that's okay. Certainly, we're very excited about that. I'll talk about it a bit, but this opportunity is incredible regardless of where you're at because of the timing that we'll get into. But if you're looking at it for the very first time, that's really who I'm speaking to here this evening. And I always think back to when I saw it for the first time just over 10 years ago, which was, since having seen it probably 1,000 times. But it's always special that very first time when you see a concept, an idea, you see some light at the end of the tunnel. For me, where I was at that point in time in my life, hopefully you're not there, but I was dead flat broke on my back. I was getting ready to be involuntarily moving out of my apartment, and my vehicle had already been involuntarily taken from me. So it was not a good financial picture at that particular point in time. And hopefully that's not where you're at. Hopefully you're coming to the table here this evening, seeing an opportunity to just take you from a nice good place to a better place. But if you're in a position like I was, where things are not looking pretty for you right now, I'm so excited because there's definitive hope. We have a business, a system that is proven that you can use to build a residual income, to improve your future in a very dramatic way by helping others, through a business of providing value to others, and therefore you can return a business that pays you for the rest of your life. So you've already seen that business. You probably just got done taking a look, and you've seen the service that we offer, the value that we offer the marketplace, how we get compensated for doing that. And probably the most important thing that I can share here this evening is simply that everything you've seen is real. Because it's very easy to take a look at the presentation and say, my gosh, that just sounds too good to be true. That's what I thought when I first take a look 10 years ago. And to be perfectly honest with you, 10 years ago, that's all it was. It was a good idea. We thought, my gosh, if this works, this is going to be incredible. But there was no proof it was going to work 10 years ago. We were a startup company. We had no track record. We had no proof. And so what I'm so excited about is what's changed in the past 10 years that has you positioned for a much greater opportunity. The service is the same. We still offer not a product, a physical product that, maybe you may be accustomed to building a business around, where you have to convince somebody to buy from you a product that might be a little bit more expensive than they're accustomed to paying. And you might, be accustomed to, maybe having, trying to promote something that you have to convince people to keep using and stay on, some sort of auto ship. And the beauty of this is that it's unconsciously purchased, habitually used. We're not changing any buying habits, and that's one of the most frustrating things to do in trying to build a business around. Here, in advance that every single person in the marketplace already needs what you have, and our job is simply to provide them value on what they already have to have, and that's the beauty of our product. It's a business that you can build part-time. We're not asking you to give up what you're currently doing. Now, maybe if you're in my position, you're trying to work multiple jobs just to keep your neck above water. That's where I was 10 years ago. Or, maybe you're in a good place. Whatever it is, understand that you don't have to give that up. You still need to put food on the table. You need to provide. We get that. We're asking you to carve away an hour or two, maybe 3 a day, depending on your excitement, your ability. But carve away a little bit of time and apply it to our system, our proven system, so that you can begin to build a business part-time that can, at some point in time, become full-time. And the reason that's possible is because of our compensation plan, because we've got a compensation plan that pays two different ways, very unique ways. It combines two things that you don't often get in a method of income or a business. That is residual income and leveraged income. You see, we've all heard about residual income, the idea of getting paid once, or doing something once and getting paid forever. And that's an extremely powerful thing. But I will tell you that there is no more residual income. It doesn't get more solid and stable and just bulletproof than energy. It's just, electricity and natural gas. It's the last thing that gets turned off in a position of financial crisis. I look at where I was 10 years ago. I was getting ready to get pushed out of my apartment, and I lost my vehicle, but my electricity was still turned on. I wasn't going to give that up. That's the last thing that I would give up, right? Because it takes a while to get booted out of your place of residence. There's laws against that. But it doesn't take long to get your electricity turned off if you don't pay that bill. And so there is no more essential service to build a business around and to provide. My dad plays golf in retirement because of the residual income he built from the insurance industry, which is what most people think of when they think of residual income. But, he spent 25, 30, I can't remember how many years building his insurance agency, one customer at a time, one at a time. He gathered his clientele and built his customer base. And that took 20, 30 years. The power of a leveraged residual income is that in the past, well, actually, it only took 5 years of Ambit Energy. In 5 years, I was able to more than double what took him 30. We both had residual income. I had leveraged residual income. And that's because every single time that I introduced a new consultant to this business and was growing my team, I was adding leverage to my life. Every single time somebody joined my business as a result of whether it was my personal efforts or the efforts of anyone else on my team, essentially I'm getting paid on 24 additional hours per day. See, we're all capped. All we have if we're only getting paid linearly. Is not even sure if that's a word. I dropped out of college, so I tend to make up words. Forgive me. If you're getting paid via linear income, all you can get paid on is 24 hours. But here, there is no limit, because as your team grows, so does your leverage, and that's why it's possible to grow a residual income here dramatically faster than anywhere else. That's why it's possible to work part-time to shave off an hour or two a day and turn that into a full-time income a year or two later. Now, I was like everybody else. Well, not maybe like everybody else, but I worked the business part-time for a number of years. I can't remember exactly. It was 2 to 3 years before it was a full-time business. So that's how I started. So no matter what your situation here, we have the perfect product to build a business around. It's something that you don't have to disrupt your lifestyle. You can build a part-time compensation plan. You can get paid full-time. But what I'm possibly most excited about in this opportunity is the timing. And, we could speak about that from a number of different angles. But I guess what I would talk about is, Ambit's 10 years old. We're a solid, stable, proven company, which is a nice thing. That's something that you want. You don't want to take a chance with your effort. If you're going to make a commitment here for the next 2 years to build a leveraged residual income that you're hoping can pay you for decades, for the rest of your life, you want to know you're doing it with the right company. It's going to be around the rest of your life. We have proven that more than any other company in our industry. All right, we came in 10 years late, and yet we're number one. We're the largest retail energy provider in the country. And not just biggest of our network marketing competitors, but we're just the biggest. We've won more J.D. Power awards than any other company, which means we haven't just grown extremely fast and hit number one in Inc. 500 in the process, but we've, oddly enough, been able to grow at an incredibly fast rate and maintain good customer service, which is a very difficult thing to do. And so we've got the right company that's proven itself, but at the same time, the unique thing about where we're at is we have yet to scratch the surface of the opportunity in any meaningful way. I mean, you look at Texas, we are by far and away #1 in Texas, but we haven't even achieved 10% there yet. Market penetration. You see, Ambit is still very young as a company, but the beauty is that you're not just with a company that's proven itself and is still very young, but you are early on, literally ground floor level of an industry. And that's a totally different thing than being with the right company. Being with the right industry is an entirely different thing. See, energy deregulation, it's still very new, ladies and gentlemen. Many states still haven't deregulated. There's many states that are still voting on the process to deregulate. In most states, we're very new and the concept is still very unknown. I mean, we just opened up Japan. It just deregulated last year. There's still many countries that we haven't gotten to yet. So regardless of where you're at, locality-wise, you've got an opportunity here that you can build with the right company, because we have that very rare combination of ground floor opportunity in a ground floor industry, yet you don't have to worry about the risk of a ground floor company. Combining those two together is an extremely rare combination of factors for an opportunity. So timing truly could not be better. You know, we've got the perfect proven system. You don't have to wonder how this works. You simply have to plug into what we've already proven does work. It's extremely simple. Sometimes you could view what we do as boring. We just gather a few customers, show others how to do the same thing. Go out and get free energy by gathering a few customers, and show others how to get free energy by gathering a few customers. That's it. Now, if you're in Japan, we aren't launching with that program, the free energy program. It's kind of our signature program in the US, but you know, there's indications that Ambit's hoping to surprise us with that, depending on how the numbers work out. But the bottom line is, all we do is those two simple things. If you see enough value in what we offer as a company that you feel pretty confident you can go out and gather a few customers, then it makes sense you can also teach other people how to do the exact same thing. And you just stay committed to those two things. Over time, your leveraged residual income will grow as you add more consultants doing those two very same things. Don't overcomplicate it. The beauty of the system is that it works regardless of who you are and what your background is. You may have zero experience in this type of thing. You may have a lot of experience in this type of thing. One thing I've seen more than any other in Ambit Energy is that background matters not at all. I mean, we've seen people from every background in life, in every possible situation, succeed here at a very, very high level. And so I encourage you, regardless of where you're at tonight, what set of circumstances brings you to the table, you've seen an opportunity that hits 5 key points. We've got the right service, truly the perfect product to build a business around. It's not something that's going to disrupt what you're doing. It's a business you can build part-time. We've got a compensation plan that has proven itself on a very large scale that allows you to work part-time and get a full-time return down the road. And it's truly a business of perfect timing. And no matter who you're working with, where you're at, we've got a system you can plug into that works. And this is a part of that system. Every week, you can count on this live broadcast every Tuesday evening. You can count on this live broadcast as one you can use to build your business. You can host get-togethers around this live event and know that a top leader from around the country, from around the company, is going to be here to help close out your event. And this is just one small piece of the proven process that we have in place. So, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're hailing from anywhere in the U.S. or from Japan, I'm so extremely excited for you because of the unique combination of factors that you've heard about here this evening. So if you're a guest that has seen this for the very first time, I implore you to not leave this evening until you've put yourself in a position to make a fully educated and informed decision. You know, don't go home and call up your broke brother-in-law or somebody that knows nothing about this business and ask them their opinion, because it's meaningless. You want to talk with the people that are doing it, that have been in it and making it happen, and ask them for their experience, ask them for their advice. Put yourself in a position to where you know definitively that, yes, this is something that I'm going to go for, or no, it just may not make sense for me right now. And that's okay, either one. We're not here to convince you or twist your arm or bend you, you know. It doesn't work like that. The beauty is that what we have makes enough sense that we don't need to do any of those things. It's either going to make sense for you or it's not. But I encourage you to get to that point where it makes sense or it doesn't quickly, because opportunity cost is expensive. Every day, every week, every month that goes by, people are joining Ambit as customers and consultants. It's just a matter of whether they join as a result of you and the team that you build, or someone else and the team that they build. So take advantage of the timing that you have now to be the person that shares this with everyone you know. And lastly, I'll just say this. I don't know, again, you know a little bit about my story now. I wasn't in a good position when I found this 10 years ago, right? And I can promise you, there's somebody you know that's in the exact same position I was 10 years ago. And I know for myself, I didn't have 10 years to wait to hear about it from somebody else. If you don't share this with some of the people you know, it might be another year. It might be another 2 or 3 before they hear about it from somebody else. Yet, and I know that they don't have that time to wait, and yet they could hear about it tomorrow or the day after from somebody else, and then you just missed your opportunity because they became a consultant or a customer with somebody else. So timing is truly important. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for a few minutes of your time here this evening to share my perspective on the opportunity. I'm so incredibly excited for you, and look forward to being back again next week, same time, same place, for another EGR Live broadcast. Thanks so much. Have a great week. Out from Japan.